With a population of over 10.8 million people, Georgia is clearly a popular choice for people on the move. Since 1996, when Atlanta held the Olympics, Georgia has steadily seen massive growth. Over 100,000 people moved here in 2022 alone. But if you're one of the people thinking to make a move here, there's a few things you ought to know. Welcome back. I'm Ashley Lazarian, a realtor selling the suburbs north of Atlanta and helping people just like you make a move to Georgia. I'm a Georgia native born and raised for the last 40 years, so I like to think that I really know the good, the bad, and the ugly. My goal in making these videos to start with is so that I can share the good and the bad, and so that you can hopefully make the best decision for you and your family on if Georgia should be a place to call home. Make sure you stick around till the end, because I'm going to share the #1 thing that I think really drives people here to Georgia. Georgia's movie and music industry have exploded. Tyler Perry also has his expansive movie production studios right here in Georgia. And you've probably watched so many movies and shows that were filmed right here in Georgia and you didn't even realize. Now, depending on where you're coming from, traffic here can be a serious pain in the Now, if you hail from places like LA, Atlanta traffic may not be all that bad. You will just notice the little things that we don't have, such as mass transportation options, and you have to take back streets to a lot of places that are windy little roads. In other words, if you're commuting to Atlanta or needing to catch a flight, make sure that you allow yourself some time. The weather here in Georgia is absolutely gorgeous. We truly do experience all 4 seasons. We have pretty mild winters and they're a little bit shorter, so for somebody like me who hates the cold, it's perfect. However, if you're an avid skier, you'll definitely be taking that time to vacation elsewhere. My favorite season by far has got to be fall. The weather is just right to grab a cozy sweater, the leaves are changing, the trees become these glowing colors of reds and yellows and oranges, and you can just escape and drive up to the mountains to take it all in. Now, Georgia was a state that was hit pretty hard by the 2008 housing crisis. However, we're also one that rebounded really well and earned all of the equity back plus some. Home prices here have been on a steady increase since 2012 when we really hit the bottom, and we haven't seen a stop to that increase since. Housing, whether you rent or own, is more affordable here in the Peach State than a lot of other states throughout the country. According to Zillow, the median list price for homes in Georgia as of April 2023 was $306,000. In most of the suburban cities on the north side of Atlanta, you should expect a more realistic number of around $495,000. If you're thinking about making a move to the suburbs north of Atlanta, you might want to check out this video here, where we go a little bit deeper into the home prices in Suwanee. While home prices here in Georgia have continued to rise, we have risen this year at a much more realistic pace of about 3%. And truth be told, buying a home in Georgia is still far more affordable than in many other states throughout the US. One of my personal favorite things about the state of Georgia is the fact that I can be in the mountains in 45 minutes, or I can drive down and put my toes in the sand in 3 hours. There's the typical things, right? Like spending the day at the Georgia Aquarium, which is home to over 120,000 aquatic animals. Or check out the Atlanta Zoo. Hit up the World of Coca-Cola, where you can taste different flavors of soft drinks that are served all over the world. Although beware, tasting thousands of different sodas at one time can have effects on you. In about 3 hours drive from the city, you could have your toes in the sand on the beaches of the Atlantic coast. Jekyll Island, Sea Island, St. Simon's, Cumberland. It's honestly hard to choose which one because they are all absolutely beautiful. Something that's really important for you to understand is that people here in Georgia take education very seriously. We have people move from other states or even from overseas just for the schools here in Georgia. Whether it's the top-rated high schools, IB schools, or universities, Georgia has so many top-ranking options. You'll find some of the best colleges and universities in the country here in Georgia. Going hand in hand with education, because a lot of these schools have their own sports teams, there's something you need to understand about Georgia. Sports here is life. For instance, just walk up to somebody and say, Georgia versus Tech. There is no gray area. Here in Georgia, we don't just have baseball, basketball, and football. We have soccer, we have lacrosse, and we used to have a hockey team, but then they left us for greener pastures or perhaps colder ones. But there is talk that a new hockey arena is going to be built in coming Georgia, so stay tuned for that. One of the #1 things that I think it's super important for you to know is that job opportunities here in Atlanta are fruitful. Fortune 500 companies love Georgia. In fact, there are 18 of these companies right here in the state, which in turn employ a large number of residents. Large companies like these are deciding to move to Georgia due to the low cost of business, the accessibility to new markets, plus the amazing workforce training programs available. The fashion industry also loves to make its mark in the state. The America's Mart in Atlanta hosts one of the largest leading wholesale marketplaces in the nation, and with access to graduating designers coming right out of SCAD, you've got the best of both worlds, bringing in hundreds of fashion brands and thousands of wholesale buyers. Georgia has also seen some automotive companies starting to call this state home, such as Porsche, Tesla, and Kia. Making a move is a big deal, and it's important for you to take in as much information before you take that leap of faith. That said, if you think that you can handle the traffic and pollen to have those job opportunities and great education, I think you'll do great here in Georgia. If you have questions or would like to work with our team, we would be more than happy to help you on your journey. My contact information is in the description below, and I hope that I hear from you. I'll see you next time.